This is Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado News on seconews.org. We're here at the Rawlings Heritage Center and Museum with Ed Stafford, one of my longtime mentors back from the college days when he was teaching humanities.
One of your old mentors.
Emphasis on old, he says. So we're here at the museum because the Santa Fe Trail Bent's Fort chapter just held a meeting discussing various rumored changes at Bent's Old Fort, much of the discussion around living history reenactment.
Yes.
So Ed, do you want to give us a little bit about your history with the Santa Fe Trail Association before we go into the importance of that?
My wife and I have been members of the Santa Fe Trail Association from the time we retired. It seemed like a time to look for something else to become involved in, and so we began attending meetings, and we found that there was a place for us at Bent's Fort. We started going out for education, which is something Bent's Old Fort is full of. And pretty soon I began having a niche out there. I was one of the three-man cannon crew, which pleased me very much.
I'll bet.
We fired the cannon a number of times over Christmas vacations and also 4th of July. And also I became a spokesperson for Manifest Destiny in a discussion of that in a reenactment of a debate that actually took place, perhaps not at the fort, but over the fort. And I learned so much in doing the reenactments, but I think I helped people understand that the fort was a living place, a place where they could come and see people who were actively involved in being what the fort was, a place full of living people, living lives, living their daily events. And
so as far as the educational part, the takeaways the kids might get from seeing those period costumes, learning about the blacksmith shop, from all of your experiences out there, what do you feel like needs to be shared with the National Park Service about Bent's Old Fort?
That this cannot stop, that this must be continued. It is something that we can't give up. When I came to La Junta, I was excited by the fact that I could come out to the site of the original Bent's Old Fort on the Santa Fe Trail. I saw the fort as it was in the 1960s, and it was simply a melted foundation of adobe. And I was excited by that, because here is where it was. This is where all these things took place. Kit Carson and Broken Hand Fitzpatrick and all these people who came through as fur traders, trappers, soldiers, so forth on the Santa Fe Trail.
So seeing that history of Bent's Old Fort from the 60s, when it was just the remnants of a foundation, and then you've kind of seen it full circle, right?
I've seen it grow. I was so pleased when the fort was rebuilt, when it was resurrected from the ground where it had originally stood. It was resurrected on the footprint of the original Bent's Old Fort. And in 1976, it came back into existence. 4 films were made there in the next 10 years. It was an exciting place to be. And I am so pleased that people could come to the fort and be a part of it and could walk through it, for example, in the evening and feel the ghosts of the fort rise around them. Oh, it's an exciting place to be.
Absolutely. Now, this meeting held by the Santa Fe Trail Bench Fort chapter here at the museum was, you know, a regular meeting, but they also had extra discussion regarding the rumored changes at Bensold Fort, the Pricer Consulting evaluation of Bensold Fort, and the response from the Santa Fe Trail Bench Fort chapter members. What's your response to that?
It must not happen. The fort must remain. It can't be diluted. It can't be destroyed. And that's what would happen if we lost the living history, the living historians, if we lost all the fort is now, and it became simply a shell out here. That would be the death of it, and I think would be the death of a lot of things in the valley here. It is a financial boon to the valley, and so long may it wave.
Long may it wave. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate you standing up for Bensold Fort and our local history.
Thank you for asking.
All right, very good. We do this one time, little fist bump on camera. Boom! For Ed Stafford and the Santa Fe Trail Bench Fort Chapter Association from Rawlings Museum, I'm Adrian Hart.